Hey there, music lovers! It's your friend, the music theorist, here to inject some serious power into your playing. We're about to unlock a fundamental secret weapon of rock, punk, metal, and even pop, the mighty power chord. Get those fingers ready because we're diving deep into the world of these two-fingered wonders. Whether you're a complete beginner or a seasoned strummer looking for a refresher, this guide's got you covered. We'll break down the anatomy of a power chord, why they're the backbone of countless iconic riffs, and how you can master them with a little dedication. But this isn't just a theory session. We're going full-on practical, showing you exactly where to put your fingers, how to transition between chords, and how to make them sing. Now let's talk about why the power chord is so special. It's all about that raw energy, that stripped-down intensity that cuts through the mix like a hot knife through butter. We're talking about the driving force behind legendary bands like Black Sabbath, AC/DC, Nirvana, and countless others. What's their secret? Power chords are deceptively simple, yet incredibly versatile. They're the building blocks of countless riffs and songs, letting you tap into a world of musical aggression and emotion. Don't let the power part intimidate you though. These chords are surprisingly easy to learn, and with a little practice, you'll be unleashing sonic thunder in no time. Ready to unleash the beast? Let's rock! Alright, let's break down the DNA of a power chord. Forget all those complicated chord shapes you might have seen. We're talking 2, maybe 3 fingers max. That's right, just 2 or 3 fingers unleashing a wall of sound. A standard power chord consists of just 2 notes, the root note and the perfect fifth. Don't let the music theory terms scare you. Think of the root note as the boss, the one that gives the chord its name. If you're playing a G power chord, the root note is a G. The perfect fifth is its trusty sidekick, 5 steps up the musical ladder. For a G power chord, that sidekick is the D note. Simple, right? Now you might be thinking, where's the third? You know, the note that usually rounds out a major or minor chord. Well, we're ditching it for that raw, powerful sound. By leaving out the third, the power chord becomes neither major nor minor. It's just pure, unadulterated power. So, we've got our root note and our fifth. How do they actually work together on the guitar? Easy! You're gonna play them on adjacent strings, usually the low E and A strings for starters. Let's say you want to play that G power chord. You'd fret the note G on the low E string, usually the 3rd fret, with your index finger. Then you'd use your ring finger to fret the D note on the A string, 2 frets higher. Strum those 2 strings, and boom! You've got yourself a G power chord. See? I told you it was simple. The beauty of power chords lies in their simplicity. They're easy to learn, easy to play, and they sound massive, but don't let that fool you. Within this simplicity lies a world of possibilities. The magic number. Now remember how I mentioned that power chords can sometimes have 3 notes? This is where things get even more interesting. That 3rd note is usually the octave of the root note. So, for our G power chord, we'd add a G note 1 octave higher. Where do you find this magical 3rd note? On the D string, 2 frets higher than the 5th. In the case of our G power chord, we'd fret the high G on the 10th fret of the D string. Adding the octave doesn't change the chord's character. It just adds more sonic muscle, making it sound even fuller and richer. But here's the kicker. You don't always have to play all 3 notes. You can stick with the 2-note version for a punchier sound, or add the octave for extra oomph. The choice is yours. Alright, enough theory, let's get those fingers moving. We'll start with the most common power chord shape, using your index and ring fingers. Place your index finger on the 3rd fret of the low E string. That's your root note, a G in this case. Now stretch that ring finger 2 frets up to the 5th fret of the A string, landing on the D note. Make sure both fingers are pressing down firmly behind the frets, not touching the other strings. Strum from the low E string, hitting both notes cleanly. Boom! You've just played your first power chord. Hear that raw energy? That's the sound of rock and roll, my friend. Now let's move that shape around the fretboard. Keep the same finger spacing, 2 frets apart, and try it on different frets. Each fret you move down gives you a new power chord. Experiment. Play around and feel the power at your fingertips. Remember, practice makes perfect. Playing one power chord is cool, but the real magic begins when you start connecting them. This is where those rock riffs come alive. Let's try a simple chord change. From our G power chord, lift your fingers just slightly and move them down 2 frets. Now, your index finger is on the 1st fret of the E string, an E note, and your ring finger is on the 3rd fret of the A string, a B note. Strum it. That's an E power chord, the backbone of countless rock anthems. Go back and forth between G and E, slowly at first, then gradually increasing the speed. Focus on keeping your fingers close to the fretboard, minimizing unnecessary movement. This is crucial for smooth, lightning-fast transitions. The key is to develop muscle memory. Your fingers will learn the shapes and movements, making the changes feel more natural over time. Remember, even the guitar gods started with these basic moves. Now that you're comfortable switching between G and E, let's add another power chord to the mix A. From the E power chord position, shift your hand down 2 more frets. Your index finger should now be on the 5th fret of the E string, and your ring finger on the 7th fret of the A string. Strum it. That's your A power chord. You now have 3 power chords under your belt, G, E, and A, forming a classic rock progression. Play them in order, down and up, feeling the energy building with each chord change. Experiment with different rhythms and strumming patterns. Hit the chords hard for an aggressive sound, or use a lighter touch for a more mellow vibe. The possibilities are endless. Remember, music is about expression. Don't be afraid to experiment and find your own voice within these chords. Section 4. Palm muting, taming the beast for tight rhythms. Power chords are all about raw energy, but sometimes you need to tame the beast for a tighter, more controlled sound. That's where palm muting comes in. Rest the edge of your picking hand, near the base of your palm, lightly on the strings, just below the bridge. Now strum the power chord as usual. Notice how the sound is muted, percussive, and focused? That's palm muting in action. It's all about finding the sweet spot. Not pressing too hard to choke the sound entirely, but just enough to dampen the strings. Palm muting is essential for creating those chunky, rhythmic riffs that define genres like rock and metal. It adds a whole new dimension to your playing, allowing you to control the attack and sustain of each chord. Practice palm muting with different rhythms and strumming patterns, and listen to how it transforms the feel of your power chords. Section 1. Genre-bending power from rock anthems to pop hits. Now you might think power chords are confined to the realms of heavy metal mosh pits and punk rock basements. Think again. While they're undoubtedly the darlings of heavier genres, their versatility knows no bounds. These sonic powerhouses can be found across a diverse musical landscape, adding their unique flavor to everything from bluesy grooves to pop anthems. Ever heard a pop song with a driving anthemic chorus that just makes you want to sing along? Chances are power chords are lurking beneath those catchy melodies, providing the harmonic muscle that makes the song soar. They're like the secret ingredient chefs use to enhance flavor. You might not always notice them directly, but they make all the difference. Don't be afraid to experiment with power chords in unexpected places. Try substituting them for traditional chords in your favorite songs, regardless of genre. You might be surprised by the raw energy and attitude they inject into familiar tunes. Remember, music is about breaking down boundaries and exploring new sonic territories. Section 2. Power chord variations, adding flavor to your riffs. We've covered the classic power chord shape, but just like any good recipe, there are variations that can add depth and excitement to your playing. One common tweak is to add the 6th note to the chord, creating what's known as a power chord with an added 6th. To do this, simply add your pinky finger 1 fret higher than your ring finger on the D string. For example, with a G power chord, you'd add your pinky on the 11th fret of the D string. This subtle addition injects a bluesier, grittier vibe into the chord, perfect for adding a touch of swagger to your riffs. Another cool variation is to slide the entire power chord shape up or down the neck, creating a dramatic gliding effect. Experiment with different slide speeds and rhythms to discover a world of expressive possibilities. Remember, the beauty of music lies in its ability to evoke emotions. Don't be afraid to get creative and find the sounds that speak to you. Section 3. Unleash your inner songwriter, crafting hooks with power. Power chords are not just for rhythm guitarists churning out heavy riffs. They can be the foundation of unforgettable melodies and infectious hooks. Think about some of the most iconic guitar riffs of all time. Many of them are built around simple yet effective power chord progressions. The key is to experiment with different rhythms, phrasing, and dynamics. Try playing power chords in staccato bursts, letting the notes ring out or bending the strings for a bluesy feel. Don't be afraid to break the rules and explore unconventional approaches. Remember, some of the most memorable melodies come from unexpected places. Grab your guitar, start experimenting with power chords, and see where your creativity takes you. Section 1. The power of touch dynamics and your picking hand. We've talked about the notes, the shapes, the riffs, but there's another layer to mastering power chords: dynamics. It's not just what you play, but you play it. Your picking hand is where you inject feeling, aggression, or even tenderness into those two-fingered chords. Try this. Play a G power chord but strum it softly, almost delicately. Now dig in with the pick, hitting the strings harder. Hear the difference? Same chord, completely different vibe. Practice transitioning between these extremes. Don't be afraid to experiment with your pick attack too. Angling the pick differently changes the tone. A steeper angle gives a sharper attack, perfect for punchy riffs. A shallower angle produces a rounder sound. Remember, your picking hand is an extension of your musical voice. It's how you communicate emotion through those power chords. Section 2. Beyond the single, strum rhythmic variations for power chords. Beginners often fall into the trap of just strumming power chords once per beat. That's fine for a while, but it gets repetitive fast. To truly unleash the rhythmic potential of power chords, you need to break free from that single strum prison. Start by incorporating eighth notes. Instead of one strum per beat, you get two, adding a driving energy. Then, experiment with syncopation. Hit the chord slightly ahead of or behind the beat for a more aggressive, off-kilter feel. Don't underestimate the power of rests either. Silence within a riff creates tension and anticipation. Try incorporating short pauses between power chords, letting the notes breathe and the energy build. The more you explore rhythmic variations, the more interesting and dynamic your power chord playing will become. Here's a secret weapon for tight, professional-sounding power chords: muting. Unwanted string noise can muddy up your riffs, making them sound sloppy. Muting is how you clean that up, creating a crisp, percussive attack. There are two main ways to mute: with your fretting hand and your picking hand. With your fretting hand, use your thumb to lightly touch the strings you're not playing, preventing them from ringing out. This is especially important when playing on the lower strings. Your picking hand can also mute by resting the edge of your palm, as we did with palm muting, but with a lighter touch. This dampens the strings slightly, controlling unwanted overtones and giving your playing a tighter feel. Mastering muting takes practice, but it's crucial for achieving a clean, professional sound, especially in heavier genres where precision is key. Let's talk about the dreaded string buzz. That annoying buzzing sound can ruin everything. Don't panic. It's usually an easy fix. Improper finger placement is a common culprit. Press down firmly behind the frets. Even a slight graze can cause a buzz. Use your fingertips for maximum pressure. Your guitar's setup could be the issue. Low action can cause buzzing. Adjust the truss rod or bridge saddles. A clean sound is crucial for power chords. Experiment and seek help if needed. Playing power chords should be an exhilarating experience, not a hand-cramping workout. One common mistake beginners make is gripping the neck too tightly, creating unnecessary tension that can lead to fatigue, pain, and even injury. Remember, you don't need to strangle the life out of your guitar to make those chords ring out. Think of it more like a firm handshake, confident, but not crushing. Relax your grip, allowing your fingers to move freely and effortlessly across the fretboard. Another key to avoiding tension is to maintain good posture. Whether you're sitting or standing, keep your back straight and your shoulders relaxed. Hunching over your guitar will only add strain to your muscles. Remember, playing guitar should be an enjoyable experience. By relaxing your grip, maintaining good posture, and practicing regularly, you'll develop the stamina and fluidity needed to unleash your inner rock star without cramping your style. There you have it, folks, the power chord, laid bare in all its glory. We've gone from the basics to some serious riff building, dynamic shifts, and even troubleshooting those pesky buzzes. Remember, like anything worth mastering, it takes time and dedication. Don't get discouraged if your fingers stumble at first. Keep practicing, keep experimenting, and most importantly, keep the music flowing. Now go forth, guitar heroes, and unleash those sonic beasts. And hey, while you're out there rocking the world, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more awesome guitar lessons and jams. Keep those fingers moving, and I'll catch you in the next video.